You'll have to excuse the garage. It's a mess, but it is what it is. I'm crammed in here. 2-car garage. I got a bunch of car stuff going on in it. So one day we're going to upgrade. But if you guys don't know, I'm having trouble out with Z. Now you know. But it's having some weird, random misfire issues. I can't figure it out. I've tried everything I know to figure it out. I don't know. It's costing me time, money. It's 2 events now I went to, and I was only able to turn a few laps, and then so like had to put the car on a trailer. Like I went to an event last Saturday, and I turned 3 laps. I had to put the car on the trailer and go home because it just wasn't running right. So it's weird. I had a friend of mine took the car for a couple weeks, tried to figure it out, and he couldn't figure it out. And he put it all back together, and then randomly the car ran fine. And he's like, hey, come pick the car up. It runs fine. And I was like, sweet. There's a drift event that weekend too, so I'll just come pick the car up, go to the drift event. And he's like, that'd be crazy if you just pick this car up and go to the drift event. So that's what I did. Picked the car up, went to the drift event, and I turned a bunch of laps. So, as you can see, the car ran fine. That was my first drift event in this thing since like January. So I was like 3 or 4 months, like I haven't drove. So those video clips are a little sloppy, but it ran fine. And I was like, sweet, there's a drift event the following weekend. So that's what I'm gonna go do. I'm gonna go to a drift event and load the car up and went to a drift event. And I turned like 50 laps, I think, on Saturday. I didn't kill it like I wanted to, but I turned like 50 laps, which is really good. For most drift events, most people don't get that. Some of these guys are getting in the 90s, but yeah, so big hot lap event, and I went and turned 50 laps, and it looked like this. And then, so like the very last lap of that event, the car started missing out like it's been doing. Super weird, you know? It's like the car starts, runs fine, and then it just wants to like start misfiring. It's the weirdest thing. So anyway, determined it was on cylinder 5. It was the misfire. Finally was able to scan the car, and it came up to cylinder 5. And so I changed the coil pack, nothing changed, and it still came up as a misfire on cylinder 5 after scanning it. So I changed the injector and the coil pack, and it ran fine. So I was like, sweet, fixed it. Drove it around, put like 50 miles on the car, made sure it was cool, and loaded up and went to a drift event. This will be the 3rd drift event in 3 weeks. Like I was like, every weekend I went to a drift event, which is rare, but they had 3 of them this month, so I went. I turned 3 laps and car started misfiring, and I was like, what? Are you kidding me? So I went back out, and I was able to drift the course under the misfire and breakup issue that's having, but it didn't feel right. Like I felt like I was gonna break the car if I kept driving on it, and it definitely didn't have enough power to get up the bank, but I could drift the infield fine. So I decided to just put the car on the trailer and go home. So now we're here, and we're gonna try to figure out what's wrong with it. I got a whole set of injectors. I have a new injector harness, and I'm getting a misfire code now on cylinder 6. So it's weird that it went from 5 to 6. So I changed those coil packs already. They didn't do anything, so I know for a fact it's the injector. So yeah, we'll scan this thing again and see what it says. And I'm probably just gonna tear it apart, put all new injectors in it, and put a new injector harness in it, and see what happens. And if I can't figure it out, I don't know what to do. I'm just put a V8 in it or take it to somebody that may know more than me, but let's rip into it real quick. So I gotta run down to the store and get a tap because I don't have the right size tap, and I gotta clean up some thread holes on my strut tower because whoever owned this car before, cross thread, all those bolts, so I gotta kind of try to clean those up real quick. And I better do that now so it doesn't get any worse. But as you guys can tell, it runs fine, you know? Like, shit's fine, runnability's fine. There's really no complaints. You can't even tell it's misfiring right here. It's only at idle. Sounds like it has a cam in it. You can't hardly tell. Like, maybe I can put a clip in real quick of it idling, but once we get out here on the street, I'll kind of give it some throttle and you can hear it kind of like sputter, and it's really weird. Alright, it's third gear. Now let's see. Hopefully you guys can hear this. Here it's just like not burning even. It's like all spitting and sputtering, and it sounds like it's like fluttering out. It's really weird. So, I don't know. We'll replace the injectors and injector harness and go from there. You can see it's like starting to flash that check engine code now. Once we get pulled over, we'll scan that and see what it says, because that might help us out. Hopefully it says it's just a sensor and we can replace sensor and be golden. Alright, so we got our handy dandy scan tool here. If it says cylinder 6 again, then we know that it's the injector. Let's see what it says. I don't know what all that means, but it says fail. That's not good. I don't know what that is. Okay. Read codes. What does it say? Cylinder 6 misfire. So we know that it's definitely cylinder 6 misfire. So that's weird that it went from 5 to 6. But I'm gonna swap the injector on it, and we'll just go from there and see what happens. I don't know what else to do, because I'm probably just gonna swap all the injectors at this point and just be done with it, I think, and put the injector harness on it. And if we get another misfire on any cylinder after that, because we know 5 and 6 will have new injectors, 3 and 4, 2 and 1, whatever, then we know we don't have a coil pack issue, because we've already swapped all those out, swapped those around. So we'll just swap everything and just hope for the best, because I don't really know what to do at this point. So if not, this thing's getting a good old American V8 in it, that's for sure. That actually went quite well. Got ran a tap through them, went and got some new bolts, cleaned them up real nice. So as you can tell, they're spinning in there nice and freely. So that's a plus, because I was really worried about that, and I knew if I took that strut brace off any more times and ran them messed up bolts through there, then we were gonna have big issues. So I already got the intake and stuff off. I'm gonna probably pull that plenum, put the injectors and stuff in, and then we'll see what happens. But this was kind of really like a big ticket item. I'm pretty stoked about that. That went really smooth. I was kind of worried, so let's get to it. All right, so we got the intake tore off. I'm gonna work on getting this injector harness off. I don't even think this is the problem, but I got an extra one, so I'm gonna swap it out while I'm here, and then swap out all the injectors and kind of eliminate that, and then hopefully I won't have to do this again, because if not, put a V8 in this thing. All right, boys, got everything back together. Seems like it's idling good. It was a pain putting all that back on there, but sounds like it's running all right. Let's take it over. Let's take it out real quick. Give her a couple rips and see if it's gonna stay right. So just kind of rolling through the neighborhood to get to the big street here. It seems like it's running great. I haven't heard any of the misfire or the rough idle or anything yet. No check engine codes. So we'll rip out here to the street and see what happens. See if we can get something to happen. Hopefully we fixed it. I'm really, fingers crossed, we fixed it. It's really hard to do that and drive, but no fluttering. I think we're good, dude. It's done this to me before though, where I replaced all this stuff and it was like, hey, we're good, and then I go to a drift event and we're not good. But all we can do is hope, but I'd say it's fixed right now. Catch you guys on the next one.